Welcome to this week's Connection Through Music video. So yesterday was World Mental Health Day, and that got me thinking about some of the different ways that I use music to support emotional literacy and emotional intelligence. So I'm just going to give you one example today of a song which I like to use, which I am sure that you will have heard of, and it goes like this. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. I've used a couple of Makaton signs with that. So I've used the sign for happy and I've used the sign for show. You can also add no if you want to, if you're happy and you know it. So that's the basic song, and you might think that, oh well, what good's that going to do? You know, it's just a song, we just sing it, you know, doesn't really do anything. But what you're doing with it when you're exploring these issues through songs is that you're starting to lay the foundations, and you're doing it in a really safe way. Singing is a very safe, fun activity, and you can start to explore some quite difficult concepts this way. So one thing you can do with If You're Happy and You Know It is you can add in the different verses, things like if you're sad and you know it, have a cry, or if you're angry and you know it, stamp your feet, and you can start to explore the different feelings and emotions in a really safe and fun way. And that can just start to lay the foundation for thinking and feeling and talking about emotions and feelings. So in the extended video, which you can find on Facebook and YouTube, just search for Folky Cat, then I'm going to talk about that a little bit more. And I'm going to show you a feelings board that we use at home. So we've been talking about using music to support emotional literacy and learning emotional intelligence, developing emotional intelligence. And I've just briefly outlined one very quick way that you can use a song if you're happy and you know it. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit more. Firstly, the reason that it's a really safe way of doing this through song is because when you sing, you generate and you trigger kind of happy hormones in your body. But also when you hear music, then some of the muscles in your ear respond to different frequencies of sound, and music and singing is one of the very kind of calming frequencies and the very safe frequencies. So the music will be delivering a message to your nervous system straight away that you're safe, that you're in a safe place, it's a safe person. So that's why that sometimes when there's difficult concepts to address, then doing it with music can be a really good way of getting into something that's quite tricky. So when you're talking about these feelings, as I said, you can use the song on a very simple level just to introduce the different feelings. You can also use it to model appropriate responses. So you could say, for example, if you're angry and you know it, then tell an adult or ask for help, or hit a pillow, or whatever kind of strategies that you want to put in place. And I'm not for a minute saying that this is like a magic pill and that singing this song once is suddenly going to fix everything, but because it won't. But what you will do is you're laying the foundations for it, and then in the middle of a meltdown or a dissociative episode, then you've got something to fall back onto, because the music will hook you back into that same place. So you could start to use the song. You could say, oh, do you remember what do we say in the song if you're feeling upset or you're feeling angry? You know, if you're angry and you know it. And that musical passage will trigger the same parts of their brain as when they heard it the first time. So it gives you a little way into it. And doing this repeatedly and emphasizing it and practicing it can have really quite incredible results over a long time. And I just wanted to show you this, which is something that my son's teacher made for him. So this is his feelings board, And he's got one of these at home and one of these at school. And we've been really practicing for probably around a year or so about communicating emotions rather than just, going loopy or having a meltdown. And he started to get really, really good at it. So we've got these symbols on it as a visual prompt for him as well, even though he communicates verbally. But sometimes he's not able to do that, or it's not easy for him to do that, and so he can use these and point to what he's feeling about. And school have said that even sometimes in the midst of the most crazy meltdown, he can be running laps around the classroom, kind of screaming, shouting, but he was doing that once, and then he ran over to the board and he hit his hand against Worried and then ran off again. So even in the midst of that really dissociative state, he was able to kind of clock in and go, oh, I just need to communicate this, and this is how he did it, and he was able to say that. And then on the other side of this board, we've got some solutions. So ear defenders, squeeze, one-to-one room, this is for school obviously, some pillows to hit or throw, stretchy toys, and music. And this can and help him choose what he thinks that he would like to help him feel better. And again, with practice, he's been able to use this, and he's been able to tell us what would help. And he can actually also, at times, verbalise it without having to use the board as well. So what you're really doing when you're doing these songs regularly and or using the board is you're kind of laying the foundations, and you're putting these connections in place in their brain, so that they're there easier to access them more easily when they need them, when they're in those kind of meltdown states. Because if you just try and teach them that when they're in the meltdown, they can't access it. They can't access the thinking part of their brain when they're in a meltdown state. So you need to lay the foundations first when they're calm, when they're relaxed, and in order for them to be able to access them later. So why not give it a try? You can use, if you're happy and you know it, you can use any other songs that you like, any songs think about feelings, and then think about what you want the song to do. So do you want to just introduce a language for emotions? Do you want to introduce the terminology of emotions? You might start with just happy and sad, depending on how old, or depending on how capable your child is of understanding the concepts. Start with just happy and sad, then you can add in angry, excited, worried, proud, or anything like that. And you can use the same song and add in all of these new things. So I would start simple. Think about what you want the song to do. Are you just introducing the concepts, or do you want to try and model some behaviours? Like if you're worried and you know it, ask for help. Or if you're cross and you know it, hit a pillow. And then practice those in the calm moments. So just make it a really nice, just like a fun time together. We're just going to sing these songs, and we're singing the songs and we're having fun, and we're going to act out practicing, oh, I'm really cross, and this is what my body does when I'm cross, and now I'm going to hit a pillow and have some pillows there, and practice it all and model it all. And of course to them it's a game and it's a song and it's fun, but that what you're doing is practicing, and that you're laying these foundations so that you can then refer back to it when the meltdown comes and when the dissociation comes. You've got something concrete that you can remind them of and help them to sort of access that part of their brain again. So it might take a while. I'll be honest, I say we've been working on this for months and months, over a year, and it's not a quick thing, but it does work, and it does show results if you persevere with it and keep going, and then it really does. So good luck with it. Ask me any questions if you want to, or if there's any topics that you want me to cover, then just drop me a line, drop me a tweet or a message, and otherwise I will see you for another video next week.